creativity and cycles are one and the same. It's that creative process. It's you look outside, what is the seasons doing? What is the nature doing? What is my body doing every month? It's going through a giant creative process. And then so when I looked at my own, creative work, I realized I was just putting a stop to it all the time, by blocking it with, oh, well, people don't want this. And so I just started creating for myself and not thinking, what do other people want? And I think that was the biggest thing, because I'm like, what do I want to make? And that has got the most interest. I made the artwork, I've made these calendars, I've made these journals for me. I've made them purely because I wanted to see them. They needed to be made, and they needed to be made by me. And I was always waiting for somebody else to make them. But then when somebody else made them, I was feeling disappointed that I hadn't done them. It's like when you see, social media is like that minefield for that disappointment of like, I wasn't doing, but I was supposed to do that, and I just didn't want any more opportunities like to go past. So I thought, and the passion has been because I want to do it, and and I want to share this work.
There's a word that I just wrote down, which is like authentic, and I think that is one of the biggest word. Like, it's, I don't know if I like it or don't like the word, but
used a lot.
Used a lot, and I think it's just thrown around a little. And the way that I related when I think of you is that creativity and like cycles, like if I think of Andrea, like that is who you are. You're not putting on any persona, you're not putting on anything that isn't actually truly from your heart and from your soul, and that you're actually living. It's like a lived experience. It's like you, when we speak every week, you've either been out in the garden and you've been sowing seeds, or you have been out with Willow and you've been collecting goodies and doing stuff, and there's always like a creative project on the go. Like, you guys like embody creativity. Even if you just look like behind you, you've got like artwork on the wall, and like your books are like color stacked, because like it's not like size that most people have, like it's in their colors. And it's just a different way of operating and navigating that I find you live by. And I think that speaks volumes. And I think that then comes through. And I love what you were saying about like the products, that you made them for you, because there was, in a sense, something missing in the market. And even if I would go so far as saying, like, if you would have maybe picked up a journal and would have thought, oh, I wish I did this, there was probably something in that journal that was still missing, that you felt like still needed to be included, or something in a calendar or a deck of cards that just wasn't like hitting the spot completely. And I have a feeling like that's why you've now come onto the market with your amazing, beautiful products. I'm just going to go back to Ova and kind of like share the website again, because like you've got your your journal for next year. You've got your desk calendar, which I have for this year's one, and it is absolutely beautiful. The coloring mandala ones, I just think of like Sham when she's one of the teachers at the studio, and this is like her meditation. Like, she'll just color in, and it's so, like, this is like the perfect gift and it's not just like for yogis or anyone who's into yoga, but just if you're thinking like that someone loves coloring in, like this just takes you to another level. And like you were saying, like you've got your your mom, your pre and postnatal mom decks, and your cards. I've still got my like Ova cards there. So I just wanted to bring people to the shop, because I think it is like, if you look at all the artwork, like it's your artwork. It's not, it hasn't been done on, I don't know, pictures drawn in from Canva or whatnot. It is actually you having drawn and colored and created. And that means that there's like a part of your soul in there, and your wisdom and your knowledge. So like now that I like look at my calendar that's hanging up, it's like those colors, like like I get inspiration from that, and it makes me happy, and it makes me smile. And I, as much as we can get that from like photographed calendars or this, that there's something missing. I don't know. To me, there's something missing if it's just stock standard and it hasn't actually come from the person in a great.
That's a part of creativity as well. Like creativity, it's something that's kind of drummed out of us at school. I think they're saying there's some statistic, I'll have to, don't quote me on the statistics, but most people's creative energy is lost in like early days. Dogs. Yeah, it's lost in that early years at school, you know. I remember being told that as an artist, you know, you can't be an artist when you grow up, you need to get a proper job, you know.
Yeah.
And you forget those little seeds are planted within you, and you're like, no, I can actually. And it's actually taken me years, probably about 40 years, to reclaim the word artist. You know, I am an artist, I am a creative. And we hide by other words, going, oh, I make things, or I'm a crafter, or I'm like, no, I'm an artist. And that was really a nice, powerful claiming back.